Hello, I am Brandon, the humble host of Actual Play Broadcast. This will serve as an introduction to our broadcast for the time being. As we record and publish more, it shall change. We are still getting things set up, so apologies for any errors, skips, or silence that may occur. Everything will be smoothed out in due time. Please enjoy our broadcasts of various RPGs, and remember to tune in for more every week, as continuations or new adventures will be posted at such times. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Actual Play Broadcast. Today, we are playing Curseborne. We are doing a continuation of the short adventure being ran by Zemian. I am Brandon. I'm playing Tyler Calloway.
I am Syndra, playing Raven Ellis, the sorcerer.
I am Damiani. I am playing Dan Coleman, the Chimera.
And I'm the aforementioned Zemian, doing the running.
As himself.
Although, I think they're going to be running this session.
Oh boy.
I don't like that.
Should I get an extra leg ready?
But I'm a book nerd. I'm in awful shape.
Can I ask you not produce a third leg?
I have no doubts in
always have
athletics.
Right. So, who wants to recap what happened last time?
I'll do it.
Hell yeah.
So, last time, we were ordered by our various faction heads within the city. I have the city name notated somewhere, but I don't remember off the top of my head, so I'm just going to move on.
Sunridge.
Thank you.
No.
Oh, fuck.
Isn't it?
No.
Oh, shit, I thought it was.
I'm thrilled to know you're paying so much attention.
What? I thought you named it after the other city that you used, and it was that one.
It is Morwell.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yep.
I know nothing.
Even I knew that, totally. Which is why I said nothing.
I have it in my notes somewhere, and I did not get all my notes up.
Mm-hmm.
So, we are individual representatives of each of the major factions. Is it specifically just the Chimeras in the city, I believe? Not the entirety of...
It's all just family units. It's not an entire lineage.
Yeah.
Or no, it's not an entire family. It's just 3 different lineages in the city.
Yeah, and that'd be the... what are your sorcerer...
She's an archivist.
Archivist.
Yeah.
You are Chimera and Get of Lyca, for myself. Each
I
one of
hope
us
you
are...
remember your family.
I do too. Each of us are in charge of, quote-unquote, hunting down, in the nicest way possible, 2 lambs that have gone astray from the archivist and from the Get.
Mm-hmm.
So, we found out that these 2 have been involved with one another. To what degree, we're not 100% sure. Went, investigated the archivist's house, apartment, found that they had an illusion over it. Illusion was dispelled for us by a resident sorcerer. Found out that he was very interested in one of the abandoned lodges at the peak of the mountains, where the Get of Lyca say, "Hey, don't go there. Just don't do it. We're not going to tell you why. Just don't do it."
Well, it's the Great Ghost Migration.
Yep, there's that. But upon
Allegedly.
finding that, allegedly, upon finding that out, we go up there and start making our way through while it's starting to snow heavily, and find ourselves in the midst of it. Does it quantify as a loophole? I don't believe it does.
It's definitely something weird. You're inclined to
Yeah.
call it a loophole, but
Well-
you're not sure if it's technically a loophole. There's
Yeah.
definitely some weird shit going on here. It's
We've
probably a loophole, but it's
Yeah.
weird.
We've
Dan
walked
figured
dimensions.
out it was like a liminal space. We were closer to the battlefield or the outside or whatever you want to call it
Yeah.
in that space.
we found a I'm inclined to say hiker who had gone missing 20, 30 years ago, frozen and completely cut in half. And
Freshly frozen.
yeah, fresh. Well, it looks fresh. It's not great. Things don't look
Yeah.
good. They were bifurcated.
I did a forensic on him. They were like 2-3 days old.
And our lost lambs are somewhere in here. We continued investigating, found their lower half of that poor hiker, and saw that the lodge had its lights on. And that is where we left off.
Well, not only were the lights on, you could see a blood-spattered window.
So
It's probably paint or something. Don't worry about it.
I typed that, but I wasn't just like, I don't fully remember that. That might have been like the last thing he said, or I put it in because I was just thinking of a horror movie at the time. So I didn't trust myself.
No, that was the thing that was there. That's where we ended it. So,
In fairness, this is a very horror movie.
I'm scared.
Nah, it's all gumdrops and candy.
Honestly, that would probably be more concerning. If we're just in Candyland suddenly.
I do not want to play with the Fae.
That gives me an idea. All right. So, y'all are out here. It's fucking cold. Snow's coming down. You are seeing this fairly large ski resort lodge type building with these big windows, soft yellow light emitting out through the drifting snowfall, and what you're pretty sure is a blood splattered window in the center of your view looking at this building. But you can see the large deck that seems to wrap around a good portion of the building. But no, at least for the moment, other signs of people.
No vehicle either, which is the tracks that we were following. But that seems more
Correct.
pressing. We also heard something in the distance. But like it sounded like screaming, but we couldn't quite make it out. It didn't sound quote unquote earthly.
Eventually.
Yes, I remember hearing that, but I don't remember exactly how it was described.
Essentially, it sounded like something that could have been a scream, but it's hard to say for sure. Could have maybe
Okay.
been the wind howling in a certain way.
Yeah,
Not
we
pretty
never
sure.
we never got the like full. None of us rolled particularly well on it, so
All right. Well, we can continue to follow the tracks, or we can investigate the house that the lodge that has the lights on in blood. So
oh, do you think it's haunted?
I'm gonna go with no. I believe that going in there, based on the signs that I'm seeing, and it looks at the blood splatter, is potentially dangerous.
It'd be crazy if we ran into werewolves or wizards or something.
Hmm. I- Haha. Found my notes. There we go. So, I mean, the Winslow Summit itself is a problem child. It's not. No one should be up here. Blair took this Lee Abram. He's in your family.
Yeah.
If she took him up here, I imagine both are at least semi-capable of defending themselves. They're not, just another mortal.
Yeah. So you've
Motions for
mentioned
the
it.
body.
Well, I mean, I guess we don't know exactly what that guy was, technically. But you've mentioned it a few times, but haven't been specific. I know it's something that's important to not talk about normally, but we're all about to go inside this place. What exactly is the deal with this area?
The specifics are lost on me.
Okay.
But 50 years ago, this place was shut down.
Yeah.
It was shut down because occasionally, like tonight, things would come out.
Hmm.
And we'd kill them. And then it stopped happening. Never happened while any tourists were around. Never happened. Like, if mortals did get in trouble, it was very limited. We, couldn't tell it from a ski accident or from, someone getting lost in the woods. But 30 years ago, that was a bit different when it was harder to deny.
I mean, it
So,
seems to me like this area is on some sort of cycle where we'll call it the veil of reality thins a little bit. Every winter, every 10 years or so, it seems like you're a little closer to the outside and what lurks in there.
I mean, I could
Seems
believe
about
that.
right.
My main concern is that for 50 years this has been a non-issue, and then Lee wants to investigate it, gets a hold of Blair having the access to come up here. Like, this was a non-issue. This was a non-issue until two people stuck their nose where at least one knew they shouldn't.
Look, there's always someone around to turn a non-issue into an issue.
Well, yeah,
True.
that's going to be a problem for later if we can find them alive. And that is my main priority.
Yeah. That's mine too. I might just have words for Lee.
I'll leave
I'm sure our
Blair
boss.
to being talked to by Bow. Bow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally haven't been watching things on Mortal Kombat. So how well do you know Lee, or at least his skill set?
Not personally, not super well. I mean, he has a bit of a reputation for illusions, but I mean, that's not exactly uncommon among the archivists. If we are, since we don't know exactly what they're doing up here, if we find ourselves working against him, things might not always be as they seem.
Great.
The one reverse apartment looked like it took a while to do. So, I mean, at least if it was able to, if he could set it and forget it the way he did. So maybe not anything quite so complete, but stay on your toes.
If you were in Lee's position and you were suddenly given access to this liminal space, what would you be attempting to do to
Well,
learn something?
it sounds like he wants to try to cure Blair of being a Leica.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, my first priority would be learning about the liminal space itself first so that I can safely utilize it for whatever I wanted for. We don't have a guarantee these two did that, unfortunately.
But you're not able to do that from the inside of a car, I imagine.
Not yet.
So he'd either have wandered into the woods or walked into the house, the lodge.
Yeah. I mean, someone's been in there, so.
Well, I guess that makes the choice easy. Guess we're going to the lodge.
Did you think it would be any other way, though?
Well,
In fairness, the lodge makes a much better story.
I don't care about the story.
Well, that's why I'm here. Someone has to.
You're here to make sure that me and her play nice.
You're doing a great job so far.
He gives a thumbs up.
Is it just one or is it multiple?
It's multiple.
Okay.
He has two hands, don't he?
Okay.
That's good.
You know what I meant.
However, for a
Let's-
brief moment, you are panicked as you are not sure if it is two thumbs or more.
I think we should investigate the house. I'm going to move towards the house. If we want to split up, try to cover more ground, now would be the time to do it. I'm tired of freezing my ass off. I want to get them and get out. I doubt they're in the car.
Sounds good.
Well, given the chainsaw massacre and the blood on the window, we should very much expect that what is all out here is not necessarily benign.
I am out of character memory blanking. Is there a car up here?
No.
Supposedly they took one, but we haven't seen it.
Okay, yeah, I knew they took one, or this allegedly rented one, but I thought we hadn't come across it yet, so that's correct. Okay.
From what you see of the lodge, you do not see any vehicles.
Yep.
Okay. There was mention of the car/a car a few times in a way that I thought it was fine. Okay. Yeah, let's get going. Are you a frontline type when it comes to a fight? Well, are either of you?
I am.
Okay,
I don't fight. I write stories.
Uh-huh. What if you have to write a story about a fight from experience?
Tyler starts walking.
I'll follow him. As we draw close to the lodge, I will twist the handle on my umbrella and draw a sword out of it. Kind of like a sword cane.
Okay.
Dan will
Yeah.
contemplatively follow after. Once again, thinking about how to make a chainsaw out of himself.
The snow here, as you get closer to the lodge, it gets crunchier. It's harder. Like it's, frozen after being a little wet.
Mhm.
There's some parts where at first you think you're actually able to stand on top of it, but then as soon as you put any real weight on that foot, you kind of sink in a good inch. And there's
The annoying
that
snow.
rough crunching crack sound of semi-hard snow. As you all trudge your way up to the closest entrance you can find. As you do climb up onto this deck, you can see further down along the length of the building where some trees block line of sight. You can make out what you think is probably supposed to be the parking lot. You can make out the shapes of some vehicles that are buried under snow.
Mm.
You can't see the vehicles themselves. Looks to be maybe a half dozen vehicles, perhaps.
There are a lot more cars up here than expected.
Also, looking through the windows, now that you're on the deck, you see what looks to be a dining room, dining hall type area, as well as some casual lounging seating of some very comfortable looking couches and such. An area that seems largely undisturbed, besides one table that's been tossed over to the side and a few chairs that have been knocked over, and well, a body that is slumped at the base of the window, and a deep pool of blood all around them. Looks to be another man with black curly hair that has been tied behind his head, and his dark skin is gone, well, rather pale, despite what it would look like its natural warmness.
Do I recognize the individual?
No.
Okay.
Or do I?
No.
Okay, so not Lee. I assume I've seen Lee around, so I know what he looks like.
Yeah. This is another stranger.
So you and yours have pretty successfully kept people from coming up here for a long time, right?
We do our best, but as you can tell, based on the fact that we're here,
Yeah. I just mean, I wonder if this is another. Well, I mean, the last body we found was a little bit out of time.
well, yeah, that was likely one of the first incidents.
Hmm.
Like, this place has been shut down for 50 years. No one's supposed to be up here. If they come up here, they're trespassing.
Yeah.
And to a degree, they're invoking, at their own risk kind of mentality. Not exactly what, the risk they imagine they'd be taking on, but if you're told not to go somewhere and you go there, you only have yourself to blame.
I suppose. I'm sure there's not a great angle from the window, but can we tell exactly what kind of injury it was that got this person?
Yeah, you can't see head on, but it looks like the blood was running down his torso from what you can tell. It looks like a really deep gash of some kind. It's hard to see because their back is towards you,
Yeah.
but you think it looks like some kind of maybe chest or stomach wound, perhaps. Maybe both.
Okay. Something sharp, it looks like. Hard to tell from this angle, though. Well, let's see if we can find a door.
Door is easily right there. You go ahead and try it and find that it is locked from the outside. It jiggles a little stiffly. You can hear the subtle cracking of ice that has settled into the frame.
Oh, okay. I can get us into this one just like the other, unless there's any special security I should know about that you know about.
None that I'm aware of.
All right. It's probably worth standing back just in case. And I will take out my master key again and use it on the lock. And then stand to the side of the door as I open it.
Refresh my mind. Is there a roll you have to make for this, or does it just work?
No, I just have to hold a curse die.
Okay. You go ahead and insert the master key, and it takes a little effort to turn it. It's a little stiff, but it does finally click.
Yeah. Oh, come on. This usually is. There we go.
You
Okay.
pause for a moment. No sudden doom befalls you.
Oh, good.
You are able to open the door, but it's a little effort as the piled snow is rather obnoxiously in the way. But you are able to get the door open wide enough for you all to enter.
Yeah. Kind of get it open wide enough for it to squeeze in.
You're met with a wave of warm air. It's quite nice.
There was a sigh as nothing bad happened from Dan.
I'd like to keep my eyes open for any signs or sounds of anything now that we can hear the inside of the building.
Sure. I mean, the obvious things is this dining hall / lounge area looks rather mundane. Clean, well kept. The furnishings, however, look, well, dated. fashion easily from decades past with floral patterned couches, wooden chairs and tables, but not exactly the most comfortable chairs, mind you.
Like we're
But
thinking like 40s or 50s.
quite possibly. And the interesting part is, despite all of these things looking dated, they look good. As in, not faded, clean, not showing their age in any real way, in the way that older places tend to, with the layers of grime of time. This is, for all intents and purposes, a very new looking place. Or at least current, despite its apparent age.
Can I don't know if this is how the game wants to function, but would I be to do a cunning survival and see if anyone has walked through this man's blood recently to leave tracks?
I'd allow that, yeah.
Righty. I'm taking action to hunt. I'm not hunting or tracking a target, so I don't get that bonus. So I'm not trying to follow it. I'm trying to see if there's any there. So that is 6. Remind me for the bot again. We're just rolling our die pool.
Yeah,
And then no complications at the moment.
correct.
Okay.
It defaults to difficulty 1, right?
Yeah, default generally is difficulty 1.
Yeah. Oh, I meant
So-
the dice bot.
Well,
Yes.
dice aren't,
Yes.
dice aren't
Correct.
supposed to explode, right? Not in Curseborne.
They
using the-
explode.
They
thought.
don't explode, 10s count as 2.
Okay,
Ah.
so 2.
So you go over to this slumped over body. This gentleman is wearing a flannel, jeans, rather mundane looking appearance. Clean, tidy though. Not really a lumberjack, but more the flannel is warm. More of a agile build from what you can tell. And yeah, there is a gnarly, very deep gash running across his chest and stomach, and you can see better now at this angle that the blood on the window is a splatter pattern from a swipe of some kind. The blood that is pooled and soaked into the carpet here is not quite warm anymore, but it is still wet. And you do not see any immediate footprints, but after a moment of looking, you can see the drips of blood trailing away deeper into the building. Back
Okay.
through the dining area towards what looks to be a hallway.
I think I have to use this now, technically speaking. Major path inheritance. The first time in a session, Primal gains a piece of evidence. They may gain a second without spending anything.
Sure.
Okay.
What's the question you want to ask?
So this individual looks like they died recently.
Yes.
Based on a wall that we found outside, that individual was here for 20 or so years. I don't know if they've been frozen like that for 20 or so years. That's not really the concern. Does this individual, are they dressed in a modern fashion? Do they look like they're from the modern age?
No, not really. Despite like these type of clothing items still being made and worn today, you can tell from the make and the materials and such that this is dated.
But it looks like he died recently.
Yes.
You said the tracks go into the kitchen or dining room?
They go into a hallway.
Into a
You
hallway.
do see there is like Off to one side, you can see what looks to be probably bathrooms. Then there does look to be a sort of serving area that you would potentially read as like a buffet type thing, perhaps. But you can see doors that very likely go back into a kitchen. But between that kind of serving area and the bathrooms, there is a wide hallway that progresses through the lodge.
Tyler will look to his companions, put his finger to his lips.
Hell no.
My mouth disappears.
Tyler's finger goes down, then back up, and then down and turns and waves to follow. And I'm going to attempt to be sneaky beaky like
Okay.
and stalk through the hallway after the what I noticed to be tracks.
Sure. You follow these tracks a good distance down several hallways. You pass through what you believe to be the lobby. Well, you don't pass through, you reach the lobby. Obviously, there is a front desk, not overly massive or embellished or whatever. It's there to provide the service. There's
assume no one's there.
nothing. Yeah, there's nothing outstanding about the lobby in any real way. It's mostly a desk / counter running along one side wall. There's different mounted animal heads along the walls, as well as art pieces, some nice rugs, some armchairs, coffee tables, etc., as well as a set of double doors that lead outside. You do see that one of the doors is not wholly closed, and you all can feel the breeze of winter air coming in. It's not super strong on the opposite end of the lobby, but you can feel it every once in a while as it continues to snow outside. It looks like these little blood droplets are nearly done, but it seems that they head towards the doors.
Oh, like they're running out of blood that drips off.
Yes.
Going in that direction. Oh, and I'm following him as well.
There was not an infinite amount of blood on the murder weapon.
Yeah. Look, it wouldn't have been that weird, given what we've seen so far.
Perhaps.
Tyler will turn to the group. I'm going to stage whisper. As far as I can tell, that man is not from our era, but he died recently. So the folks that have been stuck here have been stuck here.
Well, that would make sense. After all, we did find a man that was 50 years old, and 80 years old and 30 years old.
Yeah, whatever it is about this place is temporal in nature.
I think that when things get close, people are trapped between time.
Which means that we're operating on a timer, or we get stuck here too.
Well, perhaps if we die.
Well,
after all, we haven't found a living soul who's been around since the 50s.
Well,
I suppose.
That one back there was alive until recently.
Or he was dead for 50 years, and we've only recently been able to experience the time for it. Remember, our last body was also somewhat recent, despite literally having gone missing over 5 decades ago.
Yeah, it could be the time just isn't passing for the remains. But, we won't know until we look further.
Mm-hmm. If we get trapped here, it may very well be that we simply don't notice that 10 years have passed.
Well,
let's hope that doesn't happen.
They went out that door. whoever killed him.
Yeah.
So we can either follow to see who or what they are. We can try to search the lodge for our missing sheep, our missing lambs.
Yeah. Now that you got a closer look at that body, is that a gut of like a kind of wound or something else? As
It
far
was
as you,
only it was only like a singular slash, right? It wasn't like a bunch of claw
Yeah,
marks.
no, it doesn't look like it would have been a Getalaika.
They aren't torn to shreds. They were killed and then someone walked away.
hmm,
Creature likes to make a scene, typically.
How fascinating.
certainly looks like it. All right, well, we're already in the lodge. Let's look around for the people we're looking for. If we're extremely lucky, maybe we can get in and out without running into whatever did this.
We shall proceed with caution and search the lodge.
So you all begin to turn. There's a jarring bong, bong, bong. It continues on for several moments. You see there's a grandfather clock in the lobby chiming for midnight.
I jump out of my skin when that happens.
That could be a problem.
I don't. My skin remains firmly attached to me.
Well, that's good. At least something does.
Hey, everything's remained attached. I just sometimes don't have the normal amounts.
I thought you could attach stuff.
I mean, I can.
Uh,
I just haven't shown you guys yet. Would you like to see?
no.
Oh.
Tyler will take note that it is now midnight,
Yeah.
be concerned, and then go about trying to track down anyone living.
Okay. How do you want to go about that? You just gonna roam the halls and just start checking every room you come across?
No. This is... I would think that with the Get of Leica and their relationship to canines, the potential to sniff out one of your own exists to a degree. Not like with, 100% accuracy or, perfect perception, but
Perhaps.
that kind of practice. Like I'd be familiar with her scent.
Sure. You want to cast Detect Dog.
I do want to cast Detect Dog.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see.
I do my best to
I
watch his
think-
back since he's concentrating on things.
I think a survival would be appropriate here with either, let's say, cunning or perhaps resolve, probably.
Okay. I'm going to use my lineage inheritance to give myself a bonus die.
Sure.
Wait, do we get multiple inheritances?
No, I was just.
I thought you had to pick one.
I know,
Oh,
I
okay.
picked one. I was getting the
okay.
name wrong.
Oh, got it. I was confused for a moment. It's like, I've been doing this wrong.
All right. 1 success.
Okay.
On 7 dice.
As you're moving through the lodge, you're making use of your supernatural senses, trying to take advantage of this enhanced sense of smell you possess. You don't pick up any Get of Leica sense. There's faint smells of perfumes, colognes, cleaning supplies, death, but no get of Leica that you can sense.
Tyler's visibly frustrated.
Uh, you all right?
There's too much in the air. It's hard for me to pick up any sense of any other get of Leica in the lodge. You able to find anything?
Not yet. I was watching your back since you were busy. But we can take a look around the old-fashioned way. How big is this place exactly, Zamian?
It's fairly large. There's like 2 floors. Easily maybe 24 rooms, perhaps. Maybe more. Just out of
Okay,
guess.
so reasonable for 3 people to search, but it'll probably take a while.
I'd suggest we perhaps search together.
I was thinking about stabbing you if you said split up, so that sounds good.
That seems mean.
So is splitting up in a situation like this.
Exactly. That's why I wouldn't suggest it.
Yeah, no, I thought you were going to. But anyway, yes.
I mean, I can if you'd like.
No.
Please do.
So, you all go searching room by room. You find most of the bedrooms are empty. Some suitcases and such here and there, but no people. You do find a room where there is a couple in a bed. Something of a red wedding, you could say, occurred here from the looks of it. Quite brutal and violent. There's a mess everywhere. It seems nigh impossible to enter the room without getting something on your shoes.
Ugh. Not our couple, I'm guessing.
No. At least you don't think so. Recognition isn't exactly an easy thing, but from what you both know of these individuals, heights and such don't seem to match.
Damn, thought we had them. Not that that would have been a good result, but still.
It would have been a quick result.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I hope
Yeah.
we find them together, whichever state they're in.
Yeah. Well, on to the next.
Yes, you all carry on moving through the rooms. There is, at one point, a sound of movement down a hall as you all are entering a different room.
I freeze and try to listen for it again and slowly turn to look. Just trying to stay silent.
Yes, you hear, you think, footsteps running, perhaps, growing quieter.
Did you catch that?
Dog's got a chase.
Orc?
Tyler would have whipped his head in that direction. The moment it starts getting quieter, he's going.
Okay. I'm assuming the other 2 are also going to follow the dog.
I suppose
yeah.
it's Chase then.
Okay. You start booking it. You run down the hallway around the corner, chasing after the sound, you catch a glimpse of a shoe, or rather a boot, going past another corner. You haul ass, tearing after whoever, whatever this might be running. And in a few moments, you do turn the corner yet again to see what looks to be perhaps a woman in a thick winter coat. Hauling ass, she glances over her shoulder, sees the three of you booking it after her, and she lets out a scream and starts running harder.
Oh, so you think that's her?
Let's see, athletics. I would say, resolve, stamina, or might, I think, are going to be the most appropriate here.
I'm gonna put my whole ass into it.
We'll do resolve.
And
And
yeah,
just
all
resolve.
three of you can do this. And this is just going to kind of be opposed.
Okay.
So we're going to technically treat this as difficulty 0.
Gotcha. 4 successes.
Let me get over to the dice spot here.
Hey, 2 successes.
I got 2 successes.
Alrighty. Well, I believe it is safe to say you all, as a group, are able to catch up to her after a few more moments of running. She is not able to get any real distance. You think she might have maintained distance there for a moment, but you all as a group managed to catch up to her. Grab her. What do you do when you reach her, actually? Do you grab her? What's the move?
I grab her. Shush!
She wrenches against your grip, screams, throws
Cover her mouth.
Yeah, she balls her hand into a fist and kind of tries to punch you, but it turns into more of a smack against the arm, really. And it's not, I mean, it stings a little. It's a punch, but it's not really painful in any real way. She thrashes a little bit more, muffled, screaming. Finally, after a good 30 to 40 seconds, calms a little bit. Eyes darting across the three of you.
What are you doing?
Muffled noises.
Me or her?
Her.
Oh,
Both.
I'm going to remove my hand. Don't scream. For the love of God. I will slowly remove my hand.
Who the hell are you people?
I'm
That's a
Dan.
question. That's Dan.
Nice to meet you.
Raven.
When y'all weren't what? She is like visibly confused.
What's
How?
your name?
I'm Marie.
Hi, Marie. What the fuck is going on?
Well, the murders.
That's
Is it-
enlightening.
Is it a chainsaw massacre?
Dan? I swear to
Yes.
God.
What?
You could call it that. Yeah, sure.
See, it is the same thing with the chainsaw. Valuable information.
All right, well, we didn't do it, so you can trust us at least.
Yes, no chainsaws here. At least not right now.
Okay, well, if you're not with it, how How did you all get here?
We walked.
It's very true.
You
And drove.
Oh no. Wait. That means there's a chance.
There.
We gotta get off the mountain.
You fucking listen to me.
Yeah, no shit. We're here to get some other people off the mountain.
You're not the only ones here that need to get off the fucking mountain. We're looking for 2 other people. A Blair and a Lee.
I don't know who they are. Who the fuck is that?
I will describe Blair.
Never seen him in my life.
God fucking damn it.
I'll describe Lee.
Never seen her in my life.
Oh, that's
Wait.
unfortunate.
I thought that was...
You've also never seen us in your life, and you were here.
She got the genders mixed up.
Oh. Anyway, have you seen anyone else here?
I mean, yeah.
Other than the corpses and the one making them, obviously.
No.
Oh, okay.
Fun little question for you. What year is it?
I'm not sure how to answer that.
Answer it with what you believe it to be.
What year did you get here?
I believe it's 1951.
Oh,
Sweet
fuck.
Mother of God.
But I know it's been longer than that.
Oh,
It's
it
the-
has.
It's the 90s.
Fuck. I
How'd
need
you
off
get
this
stuck?
mountain.
We can work on that. How'd you get here?
I don't know. This shit happened. And I've been stuck here since.
And everything's been all hunky-dory?
What?
Fuck no! Have you
What
seen what's
happened?
going on?
No.
With the exception of tonight.
No!
I have an important question for you. What happened when you tried the front door?
I didn't try the front door.
You haven't tried walking out?
No, that's a death sentence. The front door's always a death sentence. But Clarice keeps thinking it's gonna work one of these times. But no, she keeps going through the front door. And where is she? Fucking
keeps
dead,
going-
probably.
But she tried it multiple times?
Yes. Tell her to stop trying it. She insists it's gonna work one time.
Wait, what
Never
happens to her
does.
when she tries it?
She dies every time.
Oh, interesting.
Wait, that
People
could
die
just happen
multiple
more than
times.
once?
Yes. This shit is fucked. I went off this mountain. How did you get up here? Show me the way out.
All right,
Do
as
you
far as
know
we
what
can
a
tell.
car is?
Oh my god.
Yes, I know what a car is.
Well, that's what
Dickhead.
we took up here.
This is from 1950s, not the 1750s.
Dan, I'm happy that you're aloof and just unstable around everyone. I let go of her.
Look,
He just tilts his head.
if you all got here, that means we have. She looks around, kind of shrugs. A few hours at least. So just where did you come in at?
Oh,
Oh, we walked quite a bit of ways.
I don't give a shit how much you
We just-
walked.
you're
We
gonna
need to
hate what I'm
go.
about to say because it's the front door.
You did not come in through the front door.
Oh, never mind. Damn, that would have been hilarious. Okay, don't say that.
Y'all showed up at the lobby and saw the front door open.
Oh, right.
Well,
So, well, we came in a different door, one of the side ones. But as far as we can tell, whatever it is about this place becomes active every 10 years, at least on the outside. I don't know what perception of time is like in here.
How long do you think you've been here?
All I care about right now is getting the fuck out of here. So if you don't mind, we can play 20 questions after I'm out of here.
Well, we're
If you're
sort of
not
here
cool
looking.
with helping me with that, just tell me what path you took and I'll just go by myself.
All right, it was the dining room door. From there, we just went. Well, to get there, we went up the mountain the normal way. I want to say I don't know if I would recommend going down there in the weather, but the weather's not very good in here either. So, yeah.
That is a risk I'm willing to take.
You will pass
Fair enough.
one half of look at the guy's license, and another half of look at the guy's license, and you'll know you're going in the right direction.
Please
that
don't
sounds
steal our
great.
car.
There's some tire tracks.
Oh, those are
You
probably
can
covered
like
in snow by now.
sit in
Yeah,
it,
good,
but please
that's
don't
true.
steal our car.
No promises. She's
Well, the
searching.
car isn't up the mountain. It should be fine.
No, she is running down the hall.
Cool. Okay. All right, so it's about as expected. People get trapped in here in some kind of temporal anomaly with a chainsaw massacre, or I suppose.
So glad that's taking off. Such a good title.
If I don't punch you by the end of this, it's because of extreme amounts of restraint, Dan. I want you to know that.
Listen, we can all be stressed, or we can try to find some silver linings and good, so that we can think clearly.
Hey, it's not going to take off if none of us make it out of here.
See? So we have to survive.
Ooh. All the lights go out.
Ah, fantastic. All right.
I turn on the lights in my eyes.
I do not turn on my headlamp because, hey, anything that makes it easier for us to see makes it easier to be seen to.
I mean, we can
Yeah,
either
then
be
it-
blind and startled because it probably is adjusted to it, or we can at least see it coming.
I guess you're not wrong. If it's what turned the lights off, then it probably has an advantage. I'll turn my headlamp on again.
Okay.
Have my
Outside
normal
of the lights
old
you
everyday
have,
lamp.
it is pitch black. It is dark as fuck. And it does not take long for the sense of heat to seem to leave the air now that the power is off. My gradual cold begins to set in.
All right, let's be very careful about how we move.
Yeah. And if we weren't on a clock because of the nature of this anomaly, we certainly are because of frostbite now, without the heat.
I get the sense that if we mess up, then we're going to be here again in 10 years.
You hear a distant chiming ding from a clock.
Is it the
Okay.
kind of ding that says, hey, it's on the hour, or it's been a
It's
quarter
on the
hour?
hour.
Have we actually been searching for an hour since the strike of midnight?
We're searching each room.
Maybe.
Does it feel right?
I don't care if it feels right. I'm just like, this place is fucked temporally. This place is fucked overall. Moving forward, looking for our folks. We could study it after.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I mean, we know that we have to be more careful about losing time if we know that it hasn't been an hour, but an hour has passed.
Yeah, if it goes faster. All right, so we are priority one, find who we're after, but preferably not at the expense of ourselves getting stuck here. If we start running out of time, I honestly think we should just go because, I mean, getting stuck here with them doesn't really help them.
I mean, we know where they've gone, so at the very least, if they don't show up, we can tell them what happened.
Yeah. We'll still come away with more information about this place.
Okay, so what are you doing in the moment?
I'm searching still.
Yeah, let's keep
Okay.
looking through the rooms.
You continue to look and you finish clearing all the rooms. No sign of Lee and Blair.
All right, that leaves the bloody trail going out of the dining room. Joy.
There's a howling sound out in the winds beyond the walls, and another chiming of the clock.
I'd like to real quick check the door we came in, since we're kind of back where we started.
You go ahead, you check, you make your way back to the dining room, you check the door you unlocked. It is slightly ajar, cold air filtering in with the occasional snowflakes. The light powder has gathered on the carpet at the foot of the door. You can see
And
footprints through the snow, crossing through y'all's own, going backwards.
well, at the very least, we're not trapped in here. At least not at that moment.
Yeah, not in the building at least. I don't think the effect is restrained to the building though, or constrained to the building.
It's very possible, but I thought that if we were unlucky, then perhaps we'd open up the door to another room.
Oh,
Well, that leaves them to be outside. We could try to get back to finding the car.
Oh.
Although I doubt they're in it with what's going on.
yeah. There's that and the bloody trail of the murderer.
I think, and for better or worse, it is time to check that direction.
It does go back outside, right? Like to a different part of the outside.
The blood trail went out the front door.
Gotcha. Okay.
And we know you die if you check the front door.
All right. You might want to give me some space. I'm going to step away from the others, and I'm going to fast cast telekinesis to try to open the front door.
Okay, so you're all moving all the way to the lobby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The
if there's
front
anything
door
that's
is still slightly ajar.
Yeah. I don't know how literal this stuff is. Anything like wacky will happen when the front door is fucked with. I'm going to just, from a distance, telekinetically push it open. But I have a complication, or try to at least. I have a complication I need to overcome, or else bad things will happen because of fast casting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let me. Wait. I was going to get you the actual rules blurb for that real quick. Yeah, so basically I am casting without spending a curse die, but it's a little bit more difficult. And the price of the magic may come due randomly nearby. Let's see, it's a moderate complication. Is that just, I actually don't
It's
know.
a 2-point complication.
2 point, okay. That's what I thought. Ah, crap, what is the dice pool for this one? Telekinesis. Single action to pick up an object through space for the rest of the scene. Wait, do I need to? It doesn't have a listed dice pool other than saying if an item is held by another character, the spell counts as an attack using esoteric or ranged combat. What am I actually rolling to make it work? Just baseline. Complication on the action. Feel eager to buy it off. Next.
What's the dice pool for the spell?
It doesn't
Doesn't have one?
have one listed.
Huh.
For the most part, they all just do, but that one doesn't. Unless it's just one of those that's like decided by the GM.
I would
Sorry, guys?
assume you're rolling Esoterica.
Yeah. Esoterica and just a mental attribute.
I would assume so.
Okay. I will try to be cunning about it. Wait, it's the wrong dice pad. Slash dice roll is this one. And pool of 9. Difficulty is 3. Okay, the dice bot says I failed, but it's out of date. So I got 2 10s, so 4 successes. Beating the base difficulty 1 plus the 2-point complication by 1 margin.
Okay. You push the door the rest of the way open.
Yeah.
There is now a stronger breeze of cold air coming in.
I kind of pause, look around, still with my hand held up. What is... Sorry, there's... I think they're drilling something in the walls, so if you're hearing that come through,
No.
I apologize. Cool. All right, sorry to complicate that. I wasn't sure if that was how literally the warning about the door was, or how literal it was.
Dan gives a thumbs up.
I suppose we should go through it now.
Yes. The track may not be fresh anymore, so
You all go outside, can see the path left behind by someone stomping through the snow. Multiple people stomping through the snow, even. They lead out to the parking lot. Cars buried under a foot of snow at this point. You can see the presumed, well, streak of where Clarice may have been. Blood being dragged through the snow, but no body in sight. Just a path driven through the snow.
Ah, fuck. I guess we should have expected that. All right, so we have paths of multiple people, though, not just one, coming out the front door.
Looks like enough footprints for at least 2 people that had walked out the front door.
one dead, one less so.
Yeah.
I can't hear anything in this damn wind.
Same.
Let's take a look. They had to get here via car. They had to have parked somewhere. We know the make and model from the rental documents that he got from the receipt. Let's find that vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to start checking the vehicles that are buried under snow?
Yeah, likely looking for one that's less buried. Because it would have been here for a reduced
They all
amount of
seem
time.
fairly buried.
Yeah. All of these look here like all of these here look like they've been here for a long time. Although what a long time is here might not mean the same thing as it does everywhere else. So I don't know.
Let's just find the make and model of the vehicle that we're after.
You start brushing snow off of these various vehicles. One by one, you reveal what's underneath, at least enough to determine what it is. Mostly trucks, a few cars. None of which have been made in at least 30 years. all old models that look like they belong in a car museum than the road, honestly.
All of the ones that were here from when the place got shut down.
Hard to tell. Not worried about that.
Yeah.
But not any of the ones that we're looking for.
Correct. All these vehicles are way too old.
It's interesting that we have not at any point seen their vehicle. You'd think we would have by now.
They could have drove it further up, further in. You're the one that's more familiar with these liminal spaces, based on conversations that we've had so far. Where would a nexus or a keystone for such a space be? Would it have to be centralized?
Well, gates exist, but it's not often that we have a gate that spans this much, well, space.
But there's not like a central area that holds it all together.
Not usually. Could I make a roll for surmising if there's like just a place where this the fabric of reality from the outside is just thinner, would a gate or similar nexus point like that pop up, or would I expect it to just kind of be thin in the general sense?
Give me, we'll say enigmas, and they either cunning or intellect.
All right, I'll take either. They're the same for me.
And this is going to be difficulty 2.
I succeed
Yeah.
4 successes, so that's a margin of 2.
What do you want to do with those, with that extra margin?
With the extra margin, I suppose if there is a creature here, what kind of creature would inhabit a place like this where like it's just thin on a cyclical basis?
There are all kinds of things. It's a really broad question.
I guess I'm trying to like narrow down if given the information we have about this murder creature thing, like if I might be able to narrow it down further with my knowledge here.
Potentially some kind of outsider, could be some kind of spirit of some kind, could be a lot of different things.
Okay, but like it's definitely not like an archon that's gone crazy or something.
Not likely.
Okay.
For your enigmas, you don't think there's so much of a nexus point or anything. You're pretty sure that things are thin from the outer edges of the area where the area meets the outside world, where the crossing over happens. That's where things are thin. Piecing that together with you here, you do recall you are following tracks, but the tracks didn't continue once the lodge was in sight.
So I wonder if we've entered a different space than they went. We did come here later.
Aggravating.
Do you think maybe they never made it?
Well, I think the moments here now,
Yeah.
where we are, is different from the moment here now where they are.
So we exist parallel to them rather than with them.
That's my hypothesis. Because we followed their tracks, but we followed their tracks. They never made it into the house, and we haven't seen their car here. So I wonder if eventually the space became so thin we sort of boundary hopped.
Yeah.
Just without realizing it. Well, I suppose we sort of realized it.
Are you saying they potentially got here too early?
I think
then
they got here too early and we got here too late.
Oh God.
Yeah,
That
maybe
as the nexus, or not nexus, the space here becomes more in tune with the outside, it's easier to just transition into the liminal space between.
you think maybe the transition. Sorry.
Does that mean that they potentially transitioned into the space further in?
It's very hard to say.
What it sounds like is that maybe maybe the transition.
Sorry, go on.
The transition only happens actually at the outer edge while it's active. So if someone enters the space that it would exist in while it's inactive and it becomes active while they're there, they wouldn't be affected. But then if someone else comes along later while it is active, we do make the crossing because we cross the border at the right time.
Precisely. Even if they went deeper, there's no guarantee that they would make it onto the same level that we are. Think of it like we're on different floors of an apartment building. They're on the second, we're on the third. Just because they went to a different part of the building doesn't mean that they even hit the third floor. Maybe they skip to the fourth or stay on the second the whole time.
Yeah. If that's the case, we would need to just get out of here ourselves before we get stuck here. And then come back.
Yeah, that would be the goal at this point.
Mm-hmm. I think at the very least, let's trace our steps back to where we last saw the tire tracks.
Yeah.
Where we last know they were. And from there, we may be able to glean a way to stay on the same space as them as we investigate deeper. I'm admittedly not confident. These sorts of things tend to not be the most stable.
Yeah. The tracks might also be a little hard to see with the snow, but it's better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Off we go.
Let's see. I gotta check something here real quick.
It's too bad. It's not nearly as exciting as Romeo and Juliet defeat axe murderer.
Trying to check to see how environmental stuff works. Here we go. Okay. Noted. So, you all work your way back around. You find the slope of the hill where the tracks stopped. The lodge disappearing just behind you. The tracks do inexplicably just kind of end. But there's no truck, nothing. Just tire tracks that reach an endpoint. and go nowhere.
Hmm.
Only the arrival from down the mountain.
Do
Stepping
we see
across.
sorry. Do we see that one lady's footprints?
You do see her tracks going back down, following through your own tracks that you made on the way up, though partially filled in now.
It is nice that she made it out.
Well, let's
Oh,
not say things we don't know yet.
I misunderstood what you said earlier. I thought you meant we saw like a blood trail from where she went. Okay, I'm glad that didn't happen.
That would be horrifying.
Yeah. All right. Stepping back and forth, just kind of pacing across where this supposed border seems to be, is there anything on the supernatural side of things that I can feel or sense? Any difference there seems to be? It came up a little bit looking at that illusion. I know there's not a mechanical thing for like detecting magic or anything like that, but
I mean, you're definitely picking up that there is weirdness here.
yeah.
Like, it's not going to magically tell you exactly what's happening. There is definitely some kind of liminal space or something akin to it that is happening here.
Yeah. Well, does this actually feel like it's where the edge of it is?
Close to it.
Like it goes a little further out, or it's just not a hard line or a gradient?
There's not a hard line. You imagine this might be the edge where things are kind of funky.
Okay.
This isn't an exact science. This
Yeah.
is hazily understood magical phenomena that refuses to be neatly categorized in a box.
It's too damn convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Frustrating for one of my family.
Yes, which is probably why he's here somewhere.
Probably.
At least in part.
Yeah. Well, it does seem like we're right about the edge being around here somewhere. It's more of a hazy gradient than a line, of course, but
Well, let's get on the other side of it and get away from it a little bit. Do we see the body of the one guy that we found that was cut in half and frozen?
Yep. He's still there.
I'm going to put my lantern next to him,
Mm-hmm.
lit, and I want us to walk backwards and see if it, like, casually fades away, or if it just
like
will suddenly go. I understand what you said. There's, like, no, like, solid line and that it's a gradient, but I'm wanting to see, like, how far away.
So long as you're able to maintain line of sight, you can see it.
Okay.
Yeah. The gradient is just how Raven put it into words. I'm not sure if that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense, because, like was said, is that it's not a hard science.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more an art. It's science is not hard science. Science is
I'll
more
go
an art
grab-
than a science.
I go back and grab the lantern and.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Making your way back down.
Yeah.
Okay. Start the arduous walk down the mountain.
I'm gonna keep track of the one lady's footsteps. I want to see if she veers off at any point, or if another set
Okay.
of tracks suddenly accosts her.
Easy enough. If there's nothing else, you all make your way back down. You do feel the sensation of the liminal space lessening until it's finally absent by the time you reach the truck where you parked it unbothered, although you can make out the shape of somebody inside in the passenger seat.
Huh.
Oh,
I
there you
will,
go.
yeah,
What was
I don't
actually
know.
it? Well, hopefully that's her at least.
Yeah. Opening the truck, you do see it's in fact this alleged Marie Cheverain Bacon, but alive. Can we get out of here?
That's doable. How long does that thing go on for?
I mean, it's seasonal, so it could be several days. It could be weeks.
I mean, she said that we had a couple of hours.
Lasts until dawn,
Ah,
and then it starts again. Can we just can we just get somewhere warm, please?
Yeah, I'm turning the truck on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume we have to kind of squeeze in here.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm assuming it's well,
Oh,
how
is it-
big of a cab do you got?
Oh, it's like it is like that basic like 2-person cab with that spot in the
Ooh.
middle.
Oof, yeah, you're really squeezing. It's really tight, really uncomfortable. It's going to be a really awkward ride all the way down.
At
I
least
can
it's
sit in the
warm.
bed. Again.
You whatever you're okay with.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to.
It worked last time, and it would be a little less uncomfortable for us and our friend.
Yeah.
So you get in the bed of the truck. It's fucking cold. There's snow
Yeah.
in the bed of the truck. It's not great. You
Alright, we can
back
drive
the
down.
truck out, start driving back down the mountain. You do notice there's only just a thin layer of snow down here still. Barely any accumulation so far compared to where you were. Where do you want to go?
Do one of you have one of those cell phones?
Just a pager for me.
Nope.
Okay.
I don't say from the back because I probably couldn't hear.
That's fine. Well, I know of a place to stay. Tommy's probably sitting there watching over the loophole. I'm gonna go to the loophole.
Okay. Yeah. You go to the loophole. Tommy is more than willing to leave it with you to go back to his own place.
Well, give me a minute, Tommy. I need to make a call.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I will call Bo.
Yeah. Rings a couple times, and there's finally a yes.
All right. You want the good news or the bad news?
Just tell me the news. Don't jerk me around.
Blair went with Lee up to the lodge.
Why?
Winslow Summit. Because I think the boy gave her some sort of like plan to like get the curse off her. I don't know. Here's
What
what's
the
happened.
fuck?
It gets weirder. So I don't know if you knew what was going on during this time. I found out. I got someone that's back from the 1941.
51.
50.
Marie corrects from the other side of the room.
Yeah, I
As
can't
she's
Sorry,
like
believe
man.
looking around at this really weird interior house.
I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
man.
He can be a bit crass at times.
I can be. 1951.
Holy shit. Okay.
Apparently they are constantly living. That's that one movie that came out. Dan, you know media. What's the slasher movie that came out recently? They're living a horror film. Literally. Constantly.
Sure. Okay.
The Shining? I mean, it happened in a hotel. It's close enough to a lodge, right?
We
Oh, wait, this is on Earth.
Yeah. We followed the tracks. The tracks stopped as they hit this, what was called a liminal space.
Oh, fucking hell. Okay.
And they're, from what we can tell, nowhere inside. Talking to Marie here, after when it hits dawn, you're still stuck there, and the whole process of them getting killed and everything starts over again.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. I'm not gonna pretend to understand this shit.
Trust me, I don't. I'm just regurgitating what I have been told.
You might need to do some asking around. See if you can dig up some information about this shit.
And that's
I don't.
where it was at. I wanted to give you an update on how fucked the situation is.
Yeah, I think I have a good grasp on the scope of the fuckery at fucking work here.
From what we were able to find out, because it is a blizzard there on the other end of that space, we're not seeing hide nor hair of them. So they could have got there early. They're in the actual reality where they're not being chased by a crazy chainsaw murderer. Or they're out in the woods in the middle of a blizzard hiding.
Right.
Because we searched the lodge, there were people inside. It looks like fresh out of the 1950s.
All right. Look, as much as I want Blair brought home, I want you to be careful about this, okay? I don't need to lose 2 of my people. So, dig up what you can, whatever information you can. Try to get a grasp on this thing before going up there again, okay? I don't want you just blindly just throwing yourself at this. I don't want to lose anybody, but it's easier to stomach losing 1 rather than losing 2.
And let alone that it'd be our little misadventure that had 2 other people going with us that weren't part of the family, which could cause complications.
Yeah, I don't need that either. I figured that went without saying.
Yeah. I'll tap what I can resource-wise. I know someone I could reach out to. Hopefully they're still awake. I imagine, she is. I'll see if these 2 can tap anyone for resources. What do you want me to do with our time traveler?
If fucking, I don't know. Hold on to her for now. Keep her there in the loophole. See what else she knows if you can, I guess.
Will do.
I'll see if I can figure something out. Fucking hell.
My people might be able to help her a little bit more, at least with catching her up information-wise.
Well, that can be a tomorrow issue. I imagine she hasn't eaten anything. I'm gonna reach out to my contacts. I'll talk to you later, Bo. Thanks.
Yeah, she hangs up.
You stay put.
Okay. She'll sit down a little awkwardly.
What he means to say is, obviously, as you know, you are a bit temporally displaced. Things aren't the way you remember them. We're going to do what we can to help you with that. I'll be honest, I don't know exactly what can be done other than catching you up to speed with the time you now live in.
Do you 2 have any contacts that work with the supernatural?
I have lots of contacts that work with the supernatural.
Excellent. We need
Did you really just ask an archivist that to my face.
I did. I'm not going to pretend that you know people. I'm not going to pretend that you are good friends with people. You may know a lot of information. I don't know if you know anyone that knows a lot more information that you don't. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
want to make
fair, I
that
guess.
assumption. I have a contact I can get a hold of for information. Hopefully she's awake. If you two can tap someone, I have a phone line. So
Oh, perfect. Okay.
I don't know that they have a phone line.
that's you'll find that if I have a phone book too. So have at it. I'll let you make your calls first. Do you want to eat food? I imagine you're not. Are you hungry?
I could eat, believe it or
Okay.
not.
Deer stew. How does that sound? Fresh veggies.
As long as it's edible.
I'll do my best. So
Look, the bar's really low. I'm gonna be honest. It's been a long time since I actually ate something.
well, I'll make sure that you'll remember it.
Okay, sure.
So I'm going to make food. That way they can make calls, and I can make a call after they're done. That way we're all not just like waiting for our turn on the phone.
Sure.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Gonna
Uh,
check in with contacts really quick. Contacts have tags.
yeah.
Folks are path contact. Choose a path skill without attribute and roll that number of dice against difficulty 0. Add in any bond radius for enhancements. Favored tricks that cost 1 hit each. Not.
Oh, wait.
Not really sure how I feel about that.
I'm not sure I understand how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might need to run that by me again.
It's a way to roll to invoke a contact. Gonna say we're gonna ignore that for now. So, who are you trying to get in touch with?
I was going to try to get in touch with the librarian over at our. I keep wanting to call it a chantry because I play a lot of Tremere, but whatever our headquarters is called for the family here in the city. One of my contacts is the librarian there. They have the archive and supernatural tags.
Okay. Sure.
Um,
You give a ring.
I forgot to give names to these people. I'm sorry.
It's fine. You give a ring. Rings. No answer.
Do they have an answering machine?
There's an answering machine. There's a brief message. You've reached such and such. Our operating hours are, effectively, let's say, 10 a.m. to about 10 at night. I'm assuming there's a clock here in the house. You can see it is
Not right
about
now.
2 in the morning at this point.
Yeah, I guess I should have expected that.
Yeah.
I guess that's. I assume since I know them through their work, I probably don't have like their personal landline or anything.
Yeah, probably not. Archivists are not the most social bunch outside of their study circles.
Yeah,
At least not with each other.
yeah. Let's see. Another contact I have is the archivist researcher who first found me as a sorcerer and brought me into the family with the mentor and investigator tags. I might actually have personal contact information for,
Okay.
if that's reasonable.
Sure. You know what? I'm going to leave it to percentage chance if they're going to pick up.
All right, let's give it a try.
Zemian,
Yeah.
may I roll artistry and some sort of other attribute for making food?
Sure.
I have no points in artistry, but I want to make a roll for the cooking to see how bad it is.
Yeah.
boy.
Artistry, we'll say.
I like you earlier. You were just like, "You'll remember it," and I'm like, "Oh man, this isn't going to be in a positive way, is it?" And here we are.
I'm gonna say. Oh man, these stats are a choice. So I would say intellect, cunning, resolve, stamina, or presence. Depending on which one you choose, is like the most. It will determine a certain element of the dish that stand out.
I'm going to go with cunning because I have 4 dice in that compared to the 2 for the other options.
Okay.
Oh,
Sure.
I got 1 success. 3
Yeah.
2s, huh?
It's nothing impressive, but there's a nice flavor from the seasonings that were used. You didn't really take full advantage of the vegetables and the meat and everything, but the seasonings you used helped recover it from being a total wash, shall we say.
Oh, also, all of you that entered the my loophole. That sounds dirty when you say it like that. You get an additional curse die.
Oh,
yeah.
yay.
Unfortunately, you try to call your mentor, no response.
Ah,
99 out of 100.
yeah.
Unfortunately.
We, even after several sessions of playing a percentile-based system, we have not seen a 99 until now.
Just, it's really early in the morning.
Yeah.
Most people are asleep. It's just that window of time.
All right, Dan, your turn with the phone.
All right, I know just who to call.
Mm-hmm.
One. I need to make sure I'm getting the. Yes, I'm going to call Tom. Otherwise
Bless you.
known as the Gatekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Are you the keymaster?
No, I think his boss is the
tags do they have?
Fucking, that is my. I believe that's my. Oh my god. Occulted. Fuck, I have to pull open that draft one because it's the one I got for my background,
Yeah, I just want to know what tags they have.
and that's magic. I unfortunately did not write that down correctly, for which I apologize. Occultist. I assume the tags would end up being like because he works with like this. He's literally guarding a gate to the outside.
1 second.
Okay. So. Okay. I'm gonna leave this to a percentage chance as well. Okay. You call, rings, picks up. Hello.
Hey Tom,
Hello.
I gotta pick your brain about outside stuff.
Sure.
We might have found a like naturally occurring thin spot.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was wondering. We found out the ghost migration, totally a thing. So we were investigating the mountain, and Well, we're having trouble navigating the space's timing and whatnot. I was wondering if you might have any helpful tips or tricks.
Navigating time's an unusual thing and highly unrecommended.
Unfortunately, we got two people we think avoided it by accident. We're still working on that part.
You are either in a loophole or not in a loophole.
All right. So it's basically all or nothing. We gotta get in before it activates, and then we're good. Otherwise, just try again later.
Loopholes attached, loopholes, liminalities, all of these different things attached to this world. They exist in physical spaces. Maybe not entirely, but they do fit in. You cannot be both in the location of one and outside of it. You are in it or you are not.
That's a good point. All right, so they have to be in the liminal space. We've lost track of them somehow.
That's not reassuring. Is there a way to collapse it?
Oh. Perhaps, but if there is, I doubt collapsing it is within your means. Spaces like these are complex or very simple, variable in their existence. You might just need to find the rules of this one.
Got it.
Tell them
So
about
we
the
haven't
time loops.
we didn't go deep enough and figure out what's going on. Not really.
Well, from what I know, these spaces all have their own quirks and rules, ways they operate or don't, all depending. Should you figure that out, perhaps you will better understand how to navigate it.
Okay. Well, appreciate your help there, Tom.
Of course. Good evening. And then it just hangs up.
So you guys get all that?
I mean, I got some of it.
Awesome.
I'm not going to pretend that it made sense.
So we need to get in there again and figure out what makes the place tick.
Well, we have someone we can ask.
That's
I ain't
true.
going back in there.
I don't need you to go back in. I just need you to answer
That's fine.
questions.
Okay. I can ask questions, but I'm not going back in there.
Yeah, I don't blame you. So we need to figure out what exactly the rules of this place are. Sounds like. Any particular quirks the space had? We've run into a few, like the time looping part, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
The best I figure is it operates on some kind of cycle. We relive that night. We go through it again. We're free to make different choices, but most of the time it doesn't matter. We can never leave the mountain. Not the top of it, anyway. It's not the immediate surroundings of the lodge. And things sort of reset, but not exactly. It's like things hang for a time. We can talk, discuss. It's not really clear how much time we have. Tried to measure it once, but it was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Figured maybe a few hours, maybe even a few days. It's hard to tell. But then it starts again. And then we have another night we have to try to survive. And he comes. Over and over again. The best I figure, there's a chance once every in a long while, like tonight, to get off the mountain.
So you've done this song and dance more than 5 times.
I couldn't tell you how many times. A lot.
Well, that tells us that the cycle that they have that chance to get out at once every 10 years based on your friend's calculations. But otherwise, it's a constant cycle, day in, day out.
Yes.
By any
Has-
chance, you... Oh,
Has anyone ever managed to get out? Like, was someone there and then they just stopped being there in one of the times that you had to start this whole bullshit over again?
There was one guy, David, his name was. I'm not sure if he really got out, though. He just kind of stopped showing up with us.
Did you by chance get David's last name?
I think, it never really occurred to me. He was just some guy. Most of the people I was there with were friends, but he was just a dude who was there on his own. He's kind of a quiet guy. Didn't really talk much. He was taking the whole thing kind of hard. He kind of gave up hope pretty early on. Just kind of went through the motions.
Gosh.
I
What's the
don't want to
name
make
of
assumptions, but I think I don't know. I don't know how all that works, but sometimes I wonder if you give up, it kind of takes you.
what was the name of that ID that we found?
It's a great question.
I don't remember you giving me a name. I think you said it was
no, we
like
got a
you gave
name.
us a
I've
name later.
forgotten.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll have it on my notes.
Damn.
So I'm going
Yeah,
to assume it's
probably.
not David.
It's
No.
Ted now.
Okay. It is.
Sure.
It is now Ted.
You know, it might have actually been a Theodore, actually, now that I think about it. So Ted would be appropriate.
Cool. Yeah, because I could swear we got a name.
Yeah, I'm confident I gave a name. It's just a lot of names like that I do on the fly, and I don't always
Yeah.
remember to write them down.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Tyler is going to reach out to Saldinia Blackwood. Tag is supernatural. She a witchy woman.
Okay. Sure. Oh, she's witchy, huh? Let's see here. Okay. You ring. It's on the cusp of ending the call when the phone picks up. Is it groggy? Hello?
Hey, Saldina. How you doing?
Tyler?
Yep.
You know it's like 2:30 in the morning.
I do, and unfortunately, I got a couple questions. I don't mean to be a bother. I'll make it up to you.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
What do you know about liminal spaces?
I see. Basic questions, huh? Okay.
Oh, I never said they were basic.
There's some rustling. Okay. Liminal spaces. Weird magic spaces. Yeah. What do you want to know? It's kind of a broad topic, bud.
What if I just told you that I pulled someone from the 1950s out of a liminal space?
I say, damn, bro, that's crazy.
What if I told you that they were living in a constant horror film, and I have to go try to fish two people out of there who may or may not have wandered into that space?
Say, damn, good luck. That's rough. What's the question here?
Is there a
I'm
way
I'm not awake enough for this.
Is there a way to keep ourselves from being locked in it that only opens once every 10 years? We're trying to get in, grab these people, and not get locked out. Well, locked in.
Okay, so it opens and closes on this. Okay, so I mean, be a smart ass. Don't be in it when it closes.
Okay, don't be there in there at dawn.
Like, do you know when it? Okay, so it closes at dawn. So yeah, don't be there at dawn. Get out before then, if it's gonna close. But it only opens the once every 10 years.
Yeah, is there a way that we could force it open if we know where it is?
Okay, so you said two people went in there,
Two people went in there.
but it only opens once every 10 years. So
Based
how long ago
on
did they go in there?
a couple hours ago, around dusk.
That's not correct.
That was around dusk that they went in.
No, it was
They've been
several
missing
days
for
ago.
days.
Yeah,
Oh.
remember?
Yeah.
I thought they just weren't reporting for
we're like
days, and then we
2 or 3
found
days
their
behind.
tracks.
Yeah.
They've been missing for days. Like they had already been gone long enough for people to start wondering where the hell is so and so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I thought we just started chasing them.
No.
After they had been incognito for a couple days, and we were on their tail. Gotcha.
No. This is people are asking questions.
Bless you.
No.
Okay. They've been in there for a little over a week.
Well, it sounds like it opens more than once every 10 years then. So you need to figure out where your opening windows are and your closing windows and all that shit. Liminality is very finicky. You gotta know how they work if you're gonna fuck with them, and they're very individual in how they work. Like, sure, you have some that are very similar to others, but you can't just assume things about them. Like, you gotta understand the liminality that you're gonna be fucking with. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, you might get caught in a horror movie situation.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
Raven, you still got Lee's book?
Yeah.
Might need to dig through that.
Okay.
See what he was able to pick up studying the damn thing.
Got it. I'll start taking a look through that.
Sure. Let's go ahead and do enigmas.
Okay.
Intellect or cunning, or yeah, intellect or cunning.
Okay. I think intellect makes more sense. So we'll do intellect enigma 7 dice.
We're gonna say difficulty 3 because his notes are gonna be a little incoherent.
Yeah. Oh, whoops.
Meanwhile, the phone call.
There's
With
success.
oof. Is there something can you push that?
I don't think
You
so.
can use momentum if you would like to turn a failure into a success.
Oh. Is everyone cool with that? We have 3, right? Since we started a session with 3 people?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Let me adjust that.
Do I need to spend all 3 of it to get 3 enhancement to overcome that difficulty?
No, you can just turn a failure into a success.
Oh, damn. All right. That's a lot stronger than I thought it was. I'll do that then.
Yes.
Momentum is good.
Yeah.
So what do you know? Is Winslow Summit like a in the community, a kept secret, or I want to know how often I have to expect to go in here fishing people out?
Are you asking me or the person on the phone?
Oh, I'm asking her because she's in the
Okay.
she's in the supernatural community.
Winslow Summit. That's out of bounds, man. That's a no-go. You gotta be stupid to go up there.
Oh, trust me, I'm aware.
Oh shit. Okay.
Everyone keeps saying that, but they won't elaborate.
Yeah, man, shit's fucked up there. There's like all kinds of ghost stories and stuff about things going on up there. There was like a murder spree that happened some decades back. Totally fucked. They had to shut the whole thing down.
Yeah. And apparently anyone that gets stuck there gets to relive it every single day. It
That's
resets
rough.
at dawn. I got a survivor with me. She's been there since 1951.
Cool. Keep her over there. I don't want her bad mojo. Okay, thanks.
Oh. Well, hopefully, she can adjust. But no, I was trying to get some more information on what we should do with this fucking place and if everyone knew about it. The answer is yes, but they should typically know better. Great.
You really should. I mean, that place is bad news. There's a reason why people aren't allowed to go up there.
Raven, if we pull Lee out of there, can you file anything to get him demoted? Is that something that you can do?
I can try.
Awesome.
Inside, that's not how archivists work. That's not how any of this works. We're not a company. Just a bunch of fucking nerds in libraries.
Yeah.
All right, so
in this
my
case,
next
I'll
day.
kick him in the dick for making us go up there.
Yeah. Next day off. Get you some good shit. I apologize for waking you up. Just trying to get this fucking solved.
Oh yeah, sure, I get it. Yeah, liminalities, man, just best to not really, in my experience. But you do you.
I
All
mean,
right.
there's not much in the way of options.
Yeah. Well, you good luck with that. I'm gonna go back to bed. And she hangs up.
Yep, hang up a second. I thought she'd be awake closer to witching hour. What's the food?
I was expecting worse. It's passable.
I'll take it. All right. What'd you learn from the book?
What did I learn from the book?
So get a success. There is this weird array of dates. Dates that line up to the every 10 years, but there are also like weekdays. You take a look at the dates, you see the very specific dates of the events that happen every 10 years. And you notice it's not exactly every 10 years. There's a slight deviation every time. One day early, one day later, 2 days earlier, 2 days later. These kinds of variations. So it looks like every time one of these events happened, it happened on, say, day 1, and then the next time it happened, it would be day 2. The next time it happened, day 3. The next time it happened, day 4.
Yeah. So
There are
it's a year and a
things in the
day
margins.
every time.
Something like that, yeah. There are notes in the margins. Notes about time confluences. How at such an area, perhaps the liminality could be harnessed. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Golly. All right, so looking at this, it doesn't seem like it was exactly 10 years like we thought. Rather, well, 10 years and a day. It moves further in the calendar every time. He also talked here in the margins about trying to harness the liminality in some way. Not exactly sure how he wanted to do that. I'm flipping through more pages trying to find anything where he elaborates on it, but if it sounds like that's not the case.
That sounds like actual insanity.
Yeah, I'm as interested in time magic as the next sorcerer, but that seems stupid, personally. But anyway.
There's some really confusing sketched out diagrams. It's really weird shit.
So,
Anything I can discern from the diagrams?
Give me enigmas. This is gonna be. Gonna say this is gonna be resolve.
Okay, we resolve
Because this
3.
isn't something you can derive understanding at a quick glance. This is gonna take time to digest.
Yeah. What's my difficulty?
Difficulty 2.
All right. 2 successes.
These diagrams are definitely strange. It takes some really digesting the notes in the margins to really grasp what these diagrams are implying. At a quick glance, you would assume you were looking at diagrams of gravitational wells, which is not entirely off base. Now that you are grasping more of it, it seems he has proposed that liminalities have their own sort of wells their own warping of space-time, or at least this one does, he seems to think.
Yeah.
And it would seem he wants to take advantage of that to perhaps, at least according to the diagrams, warp space-time into the outside and bend it over itself to go backwards. Which, you're a learned individual. You've dabbled in, relativity and such.
Yeah.
You can time travel, but you can't go backwards. Not according to science. You can time travel forwards thanks to relativity, but you can't go backwards. That's ridiculous. But it would seem Lee thinks he can if he harnesses this liminality and perhaps takes advantage of the unreal nature of the outside.
Yeah. So it looks like he's trying to travel backward in time, which I suppose if you're going to use any liminality for that, this one does make sense. To what end, though, I'm not entirely sure. Does he have any rants or raves about how he'll finally be successful at doing the thing with the other person's?
Some weird comment that makes no sense about Szechuan sauce, but nothing beyond that.
Oh.
Damn.
God damn.
Okay. Adjusting back from that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, his goal, at least the stated goal that we've been able to catch, is wanting to remove the curse from Blair.
That's what it sounded like, yeah. I don't actually remember where we, like, I out of character don't remember, like, where we found that out.
It was back at his place.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was in the book.
notebook.
Oh, okay, yeah, so he's definitely got that intent.
There's just no big rants. It's just kind of been a thing that like Blair wishes she wasn't cursed. And there's been implication in his notes that he wants to try to find a way to undo that.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess it's not guaranteed that this is related to that, but maybe the reason he's trying to go back in time is to prevent that from happening in the first place. Somehow. Either way, even if traveling backward in time is possible, it would be unbelievably dangerous to do so.
I mean, I struggle to think how he could accomplish anything useful. Because, I mean, I don't know. It's all too big for me. I sit and watch guard and be a watchdog for a place that's fucky wucky. I do not claim to have a full understanding of them. I most certainly do not pretend that what he's doing makes any amount of sense to me.
Well, that's the thing. It might not make any sense at all, but I mean, if he succeeds and proves that it does, it'll be a major breakthrough for magic and physics and everything, but
Not if he dies while trying to do it with a chainsaw murder on the loose.
Yeah. There is also the problem that if he does, there's the potential of creating a paradox and fucking everything up.
And I understand what that means.
Have you heard of the that thought experiment where if you go back in time and kill your grandfather, it then makes it so that back in the present you didn't exist in the first place, so you didn't go back in time and kill your grandfather. So your grandfather's alive, so you do exist to go back in time and kill your grandfather.
I've not heard of it, but that makes sense.
Yeah, so both can't be true simultaneously is the issue. Or can, depending on how you look at it, it's a whole discussion. But the important part is it's a problem if changes are made in the past and they ripple toward the future in ways that don't work. So I think it would be in everybody's best interest if we make sure he doesn't do that. Particularly his, because if he fails, he'll get killed by a chainsaw murderer. So,
But what does Blair have to do with all of this?
That is kind of where I'm stumped, to be honest. The only mentions I've seen so far in his notes about Blair are some passing mentions about how she wishes she weren't cursed. I'm not sure if this is related to that or not. I mean, he might have had more than one project going on at a time. I mean, a lot of us do. But if she is involved in this, then I don't know. Maybe he's trying to alter the past to make her not cursed in the first place or something. I don't know. I suppose at the end of the day, motive isn't really as important as figuring out how to find them. Although one may lead to the other, I admit.
Well, considering that the doorway is open longer than we think, based on the information I've talked with Soldina, and what we know now, could just be a matter of going in and timing.
Maybe. I know Marie said that we would have it till dawn, but maybe it just, from the perspective of being inside, it's until dawn, but from the outside, it's a different amount of time.
Well, there's an easy way to find out. We could drive back up, see if that body's still there, because apparently everything resets.
Yeah, that's a good point. We have to go back anyway.
Could also try to go back in the morning, see what we can find, but I don't know what our time frame's looking at.
Yeah. Well, in the interest of finding them, the sooner we go back, the better, I think.
Sure.
Well, the sooner we go back, the less likely we are to run out of time, right?
Logic would dictate.
Yeah. I realized that sounded really redundant now that it actually came out of my mouth.
We can go up there and then, walk back out, potentially.
Yeah, hopefully. All right. Marie, we'll hopefully see you later in less than 10 years.
Oh,
yeah, good luck.
Tommy.
I
said,
yeah, bud.
Yeah.
no, I didn't hear what Brandon said.
Oh, I said, oh, Tommy.
Yeah.
So you're still stuck here, and now you're doing double duty on babysitter.
Can do.
I'll get you 12-pack next time I'm in town.
Hell yeah.
Marie, this is Tommy. His bark's worse than his bite.
Sure. Yeah, bet.
Did I say bet? These.
Just assume it's being translated into 50 speak.
Oh, okay.
That would, however, be very funny.
Yeah.
You all play nice. Help yourselves to whatever's in the kitchen.
Okay.
Dan, would you like to not be in the bed of the truck?
That would be nice.
Yeah, we've proven now that 3 people fit into the cab, so.
Not comfortably, but you know.
Yeah.
Okay. So 3 pile in the truck. The goal is to get up the mountain at dawn to see what happens.
Yeah, I think so.
That is my intended goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
We should all drive up there. It's
We
an
must
easier
experiment.
drive as dawn is approaching. You get to the same spot where you have to stop and park. You get out, start making your way up the mountain. You do notice the snowfall is stopped for the most part. Just a few flakes here and there. Going up the mountain, the snow is not as deep. It's like maybe 2 inches. You get up, you see there aren't really any truck tracks going up most of the slope. And you head up to where the body was. There's no body there. And as you crest over the hill, you see the dilapidated ruins of the lodge. And we're going to end there for tonight.
Dun dun.
What
That
is
went-
time?
Interesting.
Time is a weird soup.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a dirty shizno.
The fuck?
Oh, what?
That
You realize
Only the
all like
realest ones
2
will know.
viewers will get that. That's too old.
God, it sounds so familiar, but I have no idea what you just said.
dirty shizno.
I want to thank everybody for listening to our adventure in Curseborne. We'll be have the next one.
It will definitely at least be a 3-parter at this point.
Yeah,
Maybe 4.
maybe 4. Depends on how much we chuckle fuck around.
We kind of did pussy
Yeah.
out like in the beginning there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this
I
place
don't want to be
sucks.
trapped with a chainsaw murder.
I don't know.
I'll
Are
tell
there
you
any
this.
other Acursed in here?
Leaving.
Maybe he's trapped in here with us.
I'll tell you this. Leaving was the smart thing to do. Getting trapped there would have been bad.
Yeah.
Because
I
those
thought-
2 were not in there.
No, I didn't think so.
Yeah, it seemed like they hadn't gone in there. My thought was like, all right, even if they are in here, if we get trapped in here in the attempt of getting them back, then now more of us are trapped here. But like, I mean, we can save ourselves, and they made their choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
This
wonder if we go
definitely
back,
went
if Marie will be
direction.
turned to dust as time catches up to her.
It's just fucking dead. That would suck.
Damn.
It'd be a fucking thing to leave Tommy with, and she just suddenly evaporates. And he
It just crumbles away.
I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
Oh man.
But thank you again for listening. Hope to have you on the next one. Have a good night.
Yeah. See ya.
Be nice.
See ya.